Millennia Atlantic University. We are a very small community, obviously, but we definitely welcome every one of you. So what we're going to do is we'll go one group up with us, and then the next group will go with Agustin. He is a soccer player, and he also works for the university and studies here. So just say hi to Agustin, from Argentina. So, hola. So we'll go. You ready? Yeah? All right. Hago tercer piso. Third floor, Mr. Wong. Tercer piso. Yeah. Some can go, yeah. There you go. They're going to be coming through that door. Yep. Just let me know when you have a question and so forth and so on. I'll wait for the group. They're going to come through this door right here. They'll What happened to Agustin? Oh, he brought him in the elevators. Okay, that's fine. That's not what I wanted. We got everybody? Yeah. Okay. Okay, we got everybody? Little explanation of the building. The building in the park is the university, okay, which you guys, where you took the picture from originally. It's 3 stories right now. Now, for you to understand, this is a business school, okay, and originally it was just mostly for masters and online, but they've grown, and they definitely, after wanting to have an athletic program, the student body has changed a little bit now, so it's going to be more actual on-campus students, more undergraduates and graduates. The 3 floors, the first floor is the admissions office, okay, where you didn't see it, but in the corner where Agustin sits in front of him, there's the office where all the admissions personnel is, so where your paperwork goes to and everything else. And then the second and third floor, we'll go through it a little bit, not too fast, but we'll go through it. And there's different offices where you guys need to be familiar with if you come to the university, who to talk to, where you have to go to fix certain things for your academic endeavor here. There is a 4th floor, okay, and that's room for growth. It's not developed yet because originally, again, it wasn't over the population that they have, but they're planning to expand. We're really growing now, so that's going to be extended to be mostly kind of more for the students, a couple classes, but more of a living place for the students to come and hang out between classes, so forth and so on. They have capacity to build a 5th floor and a capacity to build a cafeteria here. So the expansion is there for the university, okay? As you will see, we're a very small university, so you have to realize, like, if you come to a university like this, what you're going to get is you can't get lost, okay? We're going to know every one of your names. You're going to know every your professors. You can't miss class, because I'll definitely let you know that you can't miss class. Second of all, again, student services, if you guys know Isaiah Neptune, he's one of ours now, and he's done a great job. He also works for the university, so there's opportunities and positions. As a matter of fact, I worked with him last night. He was here for the faculty meeting, so he helped organize it, and he was there. So again, I always say this is what you want to make of it. This is a great atmosphere. Teacher to student ratio is 1 to 20 at most, maybe 15. So you're not going to get lost. When I was with 80 students. It was a state school. Very nice, but I'm going to be honest with you. If I would have had an option, I would do a small school because when I didn't go to class, the professor didn't worry about me. They just say, pay again. No, we are here for you to make sure that you get a degree, okay? We're not going to give you grades, but we're going to be on top of you, making sure that you're here. So we'll walk down, and then I'll let you know the offices that we have. You can look at some of the classrooms. The classrooms are small. Some are a little bit bigger. Okay. Here we have the library. You can come in and see, and I'll just give you a little bit of the library tour. Okay. Come on in. So, as you see, the library is a place where you can come in and do your work. If you want to sit down, and catch up on some work, if you bring your laptop, you'll be able to use all these. If you don't have a laptop, you have the capacity to have those 4 stations to do your work, okay? Or print out anything that you need to print out. The books are here. It's great. They want to keep them here. You can use them. But in reality, everything's done online, okay? We use Google Classroom. So there's no excuse for you to say, oh, I didn't have access. If you have the internet, you have access, right? So you have the capacity to use them here. And again, if you just want to come and relax and sit here for a while and just, take a break, this is open to you, okay? The books are available for you also. And if you have, like I said, maybe a little small study group, if 4 of you guys want to come, students want to come and study, you can come and study here together. So this is the students' room, pretty much, okay? Good? Any questions? Good? You guys good? All right, how do you get in to this room? Through a door? The door's locked. You need an ID. So always carry your ID. You're going to hear that theme from me. Every one of you, will get an ID. I have it in here somewhere. In here, I know it does. Oh, here it is. So you'll get one of these. Without this, you won't be able to get into the building or be able to access these rooms. Okay, it's for your safety as well, and I think it's excellent that we do that because that only the ones that are in the university can be inside this building. Okay, so we'll go down the hall over here. You can just peek in these classrooms. Each classroom is a little bit different as you go through it. Okay. You don't have to really, I'll show you when we sit on the other classroom, I'll show you how the classrooms work. This is one of the rooms that, especially for the athletics, this is where the coaches sit, okay, and the trainer. Eventually, we'll grow to have our own training room, but right now, again, until they don't develop the 4th floor, this is where you would come if you wanted to talk to your coach. We have our trainer here. Yes. So, here, if not all the coaches are here, I'll show you another room downstairs. There's a conference room. We have a lot of exit and enter interviews where athletes come into the season, they talk to their coach. At the end of the season, you get an evaluation, you talk to the coach. Those will be either in a conference room or done in this room, okay? This office right here is the bursar's office. She is not right here right now at this time. One of the things let me clarify, remember it's summer right now, so really there's no classes right now. Classes will start in 2 weeks on August 19th. So we'll have orientation next Friday, a week from today. So it'll be busier then. But usually she's there, and I'll give a little explanation. Her name is Hennessy Maza. You'll hear the name Maza, M-A-Z-A. Maza are the owners of the university. She is a sister. The president is the brother. The vice president, you'll meet her in a little while. She's another sister. And then Octavio, he's the head of academics. He is also a brother. So it's really 4 brothers and sisters that run the university. Again, to the whole thing of being a family atmosphere. She will work with you. There's payment plans, so forth and so on. If you come to university, that'll be explained to you. But this is where you come to also get your most important thing that you need to do what with? I just said it. Your ID. She's the one that's going to give you your ID. Okay? All right. And then here at the end, okay, they're in a meeting, but it's all right. It's administration. Okay? Administration is where the president's office is, the vice president, and us, the athletic directors, sit in here. Okay? Paul is an athletic director of eligibility. I'm the athletic director overall of the program. Fernando is the head of athletics. Okay, so you'll get an explanation of that. We do our process of you guys coming into the university. We process your paperwork and everything through there. But again, this is where the president, the vice president, the CFO, they all sit in here. Okay, we're good. I'm going to walk you down the stairs because it'll be easier for us to go downstairs. This is the way a lot of the students use this. So we'll go downstairs to the second floor, and then we can sit down. Walk down. Come on in. You guys, come on. I'll leave it open. We're definitely not going to sit here, though. I just wanted to talk. No, it's all right. You can sit for a second, but we're not going to sit here. I'll let you know. Okay. This right here, again, bless you. We are, again, you kind of get the theme. We're very small, right? So, again, this is where the student lounge is. They sit out there. Eventually, on the fourth floor, we're going to have another terrace. We're going to have a little bit more of a student life section. So if you bring your lunch, you want to sit down here, or you're in between classes, you can come and sit here, eat, or just relax. Usually they have the TV on, but again, this is all for the students that you guys can be here. Okay. As we move down the corridor, though, the four main offices. Will be these two right here. You can. I won't have them go in because, no, it's okay. You're going to have, in here, you're going to have, for your international visa, you'll have the DSO that you talk to when you check in. You come in within 24 hours. You have to report to the university. You'll come in this room. Registrar is the person associated with your scheduling, okay, for your classes. Student services, hi, this is Teresa. How are you? She's head of academics. If you want to come and say hi, I think we're going to put them in the room.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Yes.
We're here like a family.
Yes.
So we are a small university, but we are a very good university. So welcome. If you decide to come, that will be your best choice.
Yeah. Sounds good. So she will deal with your international, okay, or if you have transcripts, she's the head of the academic side of it. Registrar, student services, that will be the person that, whatever issue that you have that's non-athletic, you report to. She will guide you to wherever you need to go to, okay, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But again, those are the offices. This right here is the office for Teresa and the academic staff coordinator for the professors. They're in here. This is the conference room where you can have your meetings with your coach. And this is where we'll sit down. You can go ahead and sit down facing this way. Yeah, obviously the way it's facing. So if you want to, I'll talk to him in a minute. A gym, I'll tell you about that. I'll let you know. Ya, yo después los bajo. Ya, ya. Te agradezco, Agustín. Ya. Oh, yes. Okay, so you get a little feel for what we call our little home here. There's a lot of things that you're going to see. In the United States, obviously you have the big institutions that carry 30,000 students. You see the middle institutions, and then you see the small private schools like us. The U.S. has become very vigilant on the small universities, and they're very demanding. So even though you see it very small, we're scrutinized more than the bigger institutions, okay? They really want us to make sure that we are, one, guiding the student in a correct pathway to graduation, and two, placement after you graduate. What does that mean? Trying to guide you to, get prepared for the job interview, okay? To associate with bigger companies that may be looking for employment. And that's really what we are gauged on, okay? The athletic side is an avenue for all of you, which in the U.S. is used to be able to get scholarship and a graduation pathway, okay? For us, I've been an athlete, all my life. I played in college. I didn't take advantage of it like I should have, to be honest with you, because I'm from Colombia and my country doesn't have that capacity to get a scholarship to go to school. I really think that it's you're lucky to be in that position, and you need to take advantage of it, okay? Therefore, coming to an institution like this, you have to be comfortable with a small atmosphere, okay? Our facilities isn't that you walk out and you have a soccer field here. No. Our soccer field is with the city. We have a contract with the city. They let us use the fields from here. I was asked a little bit about the gym. We're working on that. As we grow, we're looking on trying to either coordinate with LA Fitness, where you guys can go in and work out there. There's other ideas that we have. Remember, this is a second-year program for us, so we're growing as it goes, okay? As far as understanding that this is a business school, okay, and we're all in agreement, this is a business school. You can do a 2-year degree, associates. Everybody knows that, right? A 4-year degree, which is after that, you can move on to do your 2 more years and get your bachelor's. And then after that, you can do 2 more years and get your master's. You can run that whole through for 6 years, okay? We definitely want to use athletics as a vehicle for you to graduate, okay? The things that we will not do, we're not going to give grades because you're athletes. You're going to be held definitely to a higher standard, so we're not going to just let you free. You're going to be doing more things as a student athlete than a regular student, okay? You have community service that you have to do, okay? Each semester is minimum 20 hours of community service. And that's in conjunction with the university, the student service. She will get that, and she'll let us know, like, I need people for an event here. You got to get your community service, you do it, okay? For us, the eligibility side, if you understand it, and I'm sure you guys have explained it to them, you have to be taking 12 credits, 4 classes, in order to participate in athletics. You have to maintain a 2.0, okay? To me, a 2.0 is very low. Okay, I don't, I think it should be higher, but that's the threshold that the institution of the College Athletics Association uses. However, what I institute is, if you come in between a 2.0 and a 2.5, okay, you will be mandatory 2 times a week to do study hall, especially your first semester, because we don't want to set you up for failure. We want to give you that avenue so you can improve and get used to it. Because again, remember, you're adults. You're going to be coming in here. It's your responsibility to get the work done. Your parents can't call and say, what's my son doing? We deal with you as an athlete. If you sign a form that's called FERPA that allows us to talk to your parents, we will talk to your parents. But other than that, we deal directly with you. You're an adult. You got to get to class. You got to do your work. You got to maintain your GPA. If you get between a 2.5 and a 3.0, then it's only 1 time study hall mandatory. If you're above a 3.0, guess what? No study hall, okay? Because at the end of the day, when you graduate, your GPA is going to differentiate you from everybody else. What do I mean by that? You two go for the job, the same job, you have the same degree, right? You got a 3.2 and you got a 2.2. It tells me you barely went to class, and I'm not, you could be the 4.0 guy. I'm just using it as an example hypothetically, all right? Maybe he didn't, you know. So the employer's going to look at it as like, okay, they're both business, you know, degrees. 3.2, he went to class. He was more disciplined at what he was doing. A 2.2 doesn't get it done. So the employer's going to make a decision based on GPA. That's why GPA is always, you know, I didn't pay attention to my GPA, I'm going to be honest. And I sit here and be transparent with you because the reason I am where I am is because I'm from Colombia. I didn't want anybody to go through the same thing as an international student. I want to help out as much as possible. But you have to know what you're doing and you're getting into. So overall, the most important thing, and I say it to everybody, is you're leaving your country, you're coming abroad. It's a new experience. You're going to get homesick, okay? You're going to struggle a little bit, okay? Things are going to look difficult. The most important thing is communicate. Come to us and talk to us. If you want to talk to your parents and you want to see them on Skype, we'll put them up here on the board for you. We'll do whatever you need to make sure that you understand that we're here as a family, and yes, you're going to want to talk to your family from time to time. You struggle with class, don't wait till the last week. Don't wait till the last week. We can't help you. And when we say help you is give you tutoring, because the university offers tutoring, free tutoring, okay? Those things you have to express right away. If you're not able to understand the material, you need to communicate. Come to us, you know, or go to student services, which is what I said. I'm struggling a little bit with this professor. I'm not understanding him. We could try to help you out and maybe get a clear line where you can understand the professor. If you're struggling with understanding how to use a system of Google Docs, everything's out there. But I tell you, the professor said, absolutely not. Professors here are here to give a class and a course during the time that they're given. They're here to help you out. They have office hours, but they're not magicians and they don't read minds. All right? So everything communication do through what? Email. All right? That's another one. Email is a must. You will get your own individualized MAU email. You have an issue, you're going to go to a game. Here the rule is, if you have, I play for this team, I'm unable to go to class. You'll be marked excused. But if you had a test that day, then it's your responsibility to tell the professor, can I come in and take the test on Tuesday? You understand? Before, not after. So there's certain rules. But again, communication is key, okay? Any questions? No? Okay, so I'm going to get some of the faces that you can get to know, because again, if you come here, like you can ask Isaiah. They love Isaiah, and they take care of Isaiah. Isaiah's the quietest guy I've ever met. He's so great. But everybody in the university knows Isaiah. So they work with Isaiah, okay? So I'm gonna bring in student services, the DSO. The DSO is the person that does your visa paperwork, okay? And then I'll bring the president, the vice president, and she'll speak to you a little bit, and you can ask her questions. I would say have some questions, some good questions for them, okay? Huh? Yes?
Sorry, can you interject?
No.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
First, commendation to you and the entire MAU for the fantastic work that you're doing here at the MAU, and for the explicit nature of how you're explaining the various points at the university. For any one of these talented student athletes that we have here from Trinidad and Tobago, they're desirous of coming to the MAU just like Isaiah Neptune. Mm-hmm. What are the necessary requirements from Trinidad and Tobago that they will need to ensure that they have in order to be successful in applying?
Perfect. Okay, excellent. Yes. So first and foremost, you have to have graduated from high school. Okay. Did they do the CXCs or?
Yes.
Yeah. And have your CXCs. Yeah.
On the advanced level.
In advance, yeah. We definitely need to have those in order. You need to have graduated with the equivalency of a 2.0. So what you're going to do is you're going to be given a list of required documents that you need to, that's the first thing that you present. You send that to have it evaluated by an evaluation US company like Incred or Spantran. Okay, they tell us you're above a 2.0 student, You start handing in your paperwork. From there, starts the initial process, okay? That's on the academic side, okay? And along with that, bringing good study habits and being a good student, that has to come along also. The second thing would be, obviously, the sponsorship information and the letter that the U.S. government requires for you to travel. That has to be in order and given to us. The paperwork is not extensive because it's really just your academic history and that you've graduated from high school, and then the sponsorship letter that you have somebody that can, that vouches for you and sponsors you to come and get your visa. If you get that paperwork in and you pay the application fee, and I'm trying to also give you a time frame of how it works, because we have students that we deal with and we're like, get us this. And like, they wait and they wait and they wait. The longer you wait, the longer it's going to take you to get your embassy appointment, which is the key component to get you here. Okay? So if you get us the paperwork within a week, probably within another 7 to 10 days, we'll already be sending you your SEVIS I-20 in the mail. And with that, you can go to the embassy and ask for your appointment. For us, again, the most important things and documents are the high school transcripts, okay? And so for me, once the coach recruits you, he will handle the athletic side of it, okay? But again, I say this to you. You're an adult. When something is asked of you and required, the quicker you want to get into the university, that's on you. If you're asked for a document, try to get it in as soon as possible. And we really go above and beyond to help you and guide you and let you know where you need to go, but you're the one that has to do the initial process and get the document to us as soon as possible, okay? So again, it goes back to that word. That communication has to be quick. We communicate with you, communicate with us, I got you. It will be with Paul or myself or maybe your coach directly. Get the paperwork in. Did I answer a little bit?
Certainly, and as a follow-up, if you were to identify from student athletes in the Caribbean or in Trinidad and Tobago specifically, the greatest challenge that MAU will have in the acquisition of student athletes, what would it be and why?
Okay. I think the biggest challenge with a lot of the Caribbean nations have been the CXCs and getting the right information into the proper U.S. agency. So what happens sometimes that we've encountered is like, we give you, send it to Spantran or send it to Incred. Obviously that has a cost. We can't get involved in that, but we need that evaluated. Sometimes they don't listen and they send those documents translated or maybe evaluated by some company that we have no idea. So basically, the major problem is understand that if we ask you to go through 2 or 3 different companies, that's how it's going to be expedited and go through. It's not going to go through with a company from Trinidad and Tobago that says, oh yes, we do great evaluations. We've had that in the past. And we're like, no, this can't go. That's one of the biggest ones that we have. The other one, would be, again, there's a sponsorship. There's a certain amount of, monetary value that you have to prove to the U.S. that in case something doesn't go right here, you need to have somebody that can help you pay the university so the university doesn't become at fault or you become at fault as an international student. I think there is also the communication of understanding that it doesn't have to just be one amount. It could be multiple accounts put together to help you. It could be a couple of your uncles. It could be, that's where also we fall into it because they're like, and then we try to explain, like, look, if you have 4 family members that can get to that amount, they're going to approve it. That's another one that we've had in the past. But mostly, again, I'm going to go back to the grades, the high school grades. We need to make sure that you have graduated. If you haven't graduated, be honest and let us know because there's other programs that we have here in the U.S., which is like the equivalency test. We can have you tested, GED. You can try to get your degree that way. Your high school diploma that way and move on. We've had players come in here without high school diplomas and we're like, okay, go to the Miami-Dade portal, get your GED, which is just taking the tests for your core classes, your English, your math, history, any of that stuff that needs to pass in order for you to get the equivalency of a diploma. If you have that, year in also.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and, if you don't mind, I'm going to go real quick. Actually, let me just text them if they'll come down and introduce themselves. If you have any questions that you can think about athletically, there's questions that I have in my head that I know that you can ask, or I'll ask them for you. No? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
What other sporting disciplines do you all offer besides football?
Okay, so we have the first year we went with men's soccer, okay, football. We have rugby, we have baseball, women's volleyball, okay, tennis, men and women's tennis, okay. This year we're adding men and women's basketball. We're adding women's soccer. Last year the women's soccer we tried, but we moved it over this year. And men's volleyball is the ones that we're going to add. Every year we want to add sports. We want to add. Here's a question I would ask: what does the day of a student look like here? Student athlete. Okay. And I apologize. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'll do the football team, the soccer teams. You guys got to play them. They train at 7 in the morning, okay, 7 to 9. Classes here run in 3 sections, 9:30 to 12:30. Then you have a break, 2:30 to 5:30. Then you have a break, 6:30 to 9:30. Does that mean that you're going to be going all day? No. You have to take 4 classes, right? So you could take one Monday, say 2:30 to 6:30. You could take Tuesday, another class, 9:30 to 12:30. You could take a class on Wednesday, 6:30 to 9:30, and then maybe the Thursday class will be another morning class. Friday, you don't have school, okay? It's only 1 class a week for that subject. You could do, some players do 2:30, 5:30, 6:30, 9:30, 2 times. That covers all 4 classes. They get 3 days off, plus the weekend. So you can go to school maybe Tuesday, Thursdays, or you can go to school Monday, Wednesdays, and be free Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, okay? It all depends. Now, being the small school that we are, maybe your English class is only available in the morning, you have to take it in the morning, okay? What we won't do is interrupt the classroom because of training. You have to get the class, so you have to train in the morning at 7, okay? If, you're going away on a game, we talked about it. You're excused as long as you, as the student, do your due diligence and send the email, you'll be excused, okay? How are you not excused? I send the email to Jimmy, the director of academics. He sends it to his faculty, and you could tell a teacher, maybe you weren't, we have 40 players on a team in soccer and in football, and you weren't, put for that game. Trust me, you can't say, yeah, I was on the game. No, the roster was given to the professor, and he knows. All right, we've had that. We've discovered that. So that would be kind of the day of a student. Okay, and again, the majority of what you're going to be doing in here is studying, right? So you have the access to the whole building, the library, tutoring, study hall. A lot of players come and just hang out here too after class. They stay, they study. It's your life. It's going to be kind of like, for athletes, I called it a job, because I did it. You play, you train hard, you go to class, study, eat, go to sleep, rinse and repeat, okay? But it will be, as an athlete, I could tell you, as an athlete, it's the four best years of your life. And if you do your master's, even better, okay? But as long as you're doing that, then that's something that you can, enjoy. All right, so let's, I don't know, Oriana, you want me to go with them first, or you want to go, yeah? Okay, so this is Oriana Massa.
Welcome to Miami. How's things going? This is like that formal? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm like kind of casual Friday today. I'm the VP of the Administration and Finance. I most of the time see you when you're in trouble, so I'm not gonna see you. Okay? So no, I'm kidding. I love to see your faces. I didn't know how to put it on.
Yeah, let me see. Okay, yeah. There you go.
Okay, sorry. All right, so I love to see your faces. I want to welcome you. This is a school that is run by a family members. The president is my brother. My sister is here. My other brother is here. So we all work together. So we consider you guys as our kids and our family. So that's why I always like to come and say hi and to see your faces. And I hope that we can help you to achieve your dreams, okay? And we love to see new faces. And you guys coming from? Trinidad, I heard. Okay, and well, thank you so much for providing us this time to be here. So who is in this camera?
Who is in this camera? It's a live feed to Trinidad.
Hi, Trinidad. Oh my God, I'm in Trinidad. Thank you. I'm so excited. I've never been there, so I'm so happy. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving us an opportunity to show you what we do. We do believe in education. We love to see you succeed. We want to make sure that you accomplish everything, not only in your sport, but also in the academia side, okay? So thank you again, and I'll leave you with the team. My name is Oriana Massa, and I'm the Vice President of the Financial and Administration. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So I'll kind of hold this like this. So I'm going to introduce now Star Tarver. She is the one that we talked about, the I-20s, and the person that you must report within the first, what? 24 hours. Just kidding.
I don't know. Okay. Hello, I am your DSO. So I'm the one that issues your I-20s, collects all that nice information. When you come, you must see me within 24 hours so that I can actually activate your I-20. When you do come see me, I'll already tell you need your U.S. address, phone number, and your visa and passport. But that's it.
Yeah. Those are things that, obviously, again, passport, definitely have to have it, but we have some players that come in without it or anything, and then they have to go back.
And I can't see you. If
Yeah.
you come in without the stuff, I'm going to have to send you away.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. So, Yasmin, okay, is the one that I said when you have an issue with what, you have to go see what department? Starts with an S. Student Services. I gave you the answer. Yes.
Hi, I'm Yasmin. How are you? Good. Well, anything that you need throughout your process here, please let me know. I will be doing some workshops throughout, the school year to help advance your skills in your resume, in job interviewing, and anything that you need. So again, and I will be here for orientation, and anything that you need, you can always stop by. It's the same office. You just have to walk all the way to the back. I'm hidden in the back. Yeah, so if you need anything, I'm here and welcome. Okay.
So I do have one question, because they all know somebody that is with us.
Who?
Mr. Neptune.
Awesome. Too bad he's not here. Assistant. He's also a part of the Student Activities Committee, so if you want to join with him, feel free. We love to have him here. Yasmin. Yeah.
So one of the things that I think you guys or everyone can see is, one, I think it's genuine, the love that we have for the student body here. I know I use Isaiah, obviously, because he's from Trinidad and you know him, but I do have to say that the opportunity that was offered to him, he's a prime example of what any student wishing to come here could do. He came here very quiet, okay? I picked him up at the airport, all right? So, from that moment, the moment that I met him, wow, I knew that's the kind of character individual that we want in our university. As time went by, everybody knew him as the shy, guy. But let me tell you, he had a plan. came to me, Coach, how can I do this? When I said to him, when we drove on that night, when I picked him up at the airport to drop him off at the apartment, I said, communicate, communicate, communicate. Reach out to me. And he did. You know, and it's not to say I'm going to have all the answers or all of us are going to have all the answers, but at least we know what the issue may be, and we can try to find a solution. All right? So basically the general message is if there's a will, there's a way. All right? And if you really want to succeed, talk to Neptune. Ask Neptune how his experience has been. Because those committees that he's on, there's only like 4 or 5 students out of the 200 that we have right now that have those opportunities. Do you think the other ones could have had it? Yes, they could have, but maybe they didn't take the initiative to talk, to communicate. Okay, so I leave you with that. Just communicate, especially when you're coming. I've been to Trinidad, okay? I was in the Savannah. I had the pleasure of being out there. They took me to Savannah. They took me to St. James Street. I was there one day when Haiti was playing Jamaica in a World Cup qualifier a long time ago. Love the atmosphere. You know, but again, when you move from one country to the other, there's going to be a lot of things that come up to you. And maybe you may feel like you're drowning in a cup of water. Feel free to use us as a life vest to get you out, guide you, and put you in a better place. Okay? I don't know if there's anything else. Maybe talk about a little bit about the academics of the degrees that we have. Yes. I was trying to get Mr. Pinto, head of academics. I'm not sure if he's in. Basically, the kind of degrees that we have, everything's business-oriented, okay? Associates, it's a 2-year degree. We have the 4 years in business. We have some of these here that you can take, okay? It'll just give you, you know, a little bit of description. We have the Bank School of Entrepreneurship. We have master's programs, so they're all back here. So, you know, for us, some of the athletes, we ask them to do a 2-year degree just to start off with, to get into the rhythm of college life and the university. And then you can just immediately just transition into a bachelor's, okay? All the classes are on campus. There is no online, okay? And for internationals, for you to know, internationals have to be on campus. They cannot be online, okay? And things that affect you as an international, and I just remember this, missing 4 classes in a semester puts you at risk of failing. Once you start failing, then the risk of having your visa denied comes into play, okay? We will, you know, we're not going to say you're going to be perfect. We know some players, I'm not going to be saying that everybody passed. Some players did, you know, fail a class. But if you're coming here with the opportunity and the chance and you're not paying attention and maybe, you know, I don't know, you have an academic or an athletic scholarship, because if you have a 3.0 and above in your high school, you automatically get a $1,000 discount, okay? But the moment in the university you drop below a 3.0, you lose that scholarship. So everything is on you. You can either keep it or lose it, okay? Try, if you do choose us, try and make sure that always stay on path to graduation. Always be taking 4 classes, 12 credits, always be passing them, okay? Because the moment you fail one, guess where that money is going to come out of? Your pocket, okay? And I tell the players and the athletes all the time. And I was a college soccer coach for 15 years, and I would always tell my players, because everybody's going to want to, what? Can you increase my scholarship? Am I playing good? Am I playing? I always told them, I go, make my life difficult. Make me have to stay up at night and figure out how I can get you more athletic money. How can you facilitate that for me? Get good grades. I can go and look for an academic scholarship for you, right? Don't make it easy for me to take the money away. You didn't go to class. You're not coming to practice. You're not being the student athlete that we value and the culture that we put in at MAU. You will lose your scholarship, because the way it works is you come in, say hypothetically 5 of you come in now, you're going to meet with your coach, and coach is going to say, I'm happy to have you. This is my expectations of you for the season. Academically, athletically. At the end of the midterm, okay, you'll sit down. It's called the exit interview of fall. You know, I'll use a, you know, ex-player. JC just gave me your grades. 2 C's, a D, and a B. A D doesn't give you eligibility. You have to take that class over. D and Fs, you have to take them over. Okay? So now not is only hitting your pocket, it's going to hit you on the field because I'm going to pull you off the pitch. And until you don't get your grades up, you can't train. Okay? Those all things exist. So then he's going to say, okay, you have the spring. You have to recoup because the scholarship is for 1 year. The academic is per semester. So you pass the first semester, you got the $500. But if you didn't pass the first semester, the next $500 aren't afforded to you. That comes out of your pocket. At the end of the spring, your second term, you'll have an exit meeting for the year. And that's where we talk about like, you did this great, you did this great, you did this great, your GPA is here. You had a $2,000 scholarship, I'm going to bump you up to $3,000 for next year. You just earned $1,000. And for your parents, that's important. For anybody's parents, that's important. And I have a little joke. Going to college and getting a degree and trying to make it minimal by using athletics is a good way to pay for the rent that you didn't pay for 18 years at your parents' house. Okay? All right? So to me, that, you know, it is true. Like I always told my dad, I was like, oh, I owe you a lot of rent for 18 years that I lived in the house and I never paid anything because your parents take care of you and they love you. What better way to get good grades, get a degree, and in turn help them? Because at the end of the day, athletic ends for everybody. You can only play on the pitch for so long, but the degree cannot be taken away from you. So therefore, make it make it easy for the coach to say, yes, I'm going to up you. Don't make it easy for them by saying, hey, I got to take it. And I'm telling you right now, we have had players that lost their full scholarship this year. And at this point, they're begging, but we don't do, it's not about that. You have to be rewarded for the work that you do. You can't be rewarded for the work that you don't do. Okay?
Full scholarship covers, as you would have said, and you mentioned, for the athletic area, where it is renewed every year, while for the semester is facilitated for the academic.
Yeah.
But with the full scholarship, does it run the entire 2 years or 4 years straight?
No. So scholarships in any university is 1 year. Okay? Renewable upon what body of work you did that year. So like say, X player, I bring him in and I find him in Trinidad, right? I see him and I'm like, hey, I want to give you $3,000 this year for athletic. And then maybe, oh, you have a 3.0 academic. I will explain to you. These $3,000 are for 24 credits, okay? Those 24 credits are divided in 2 semesters, 12 credits and 12 credits. Each class is 3 credits. So 3, 6, 9, 12, first semester. Then you get 3, 6, 9, 12, second semester, right? We will not take away the scholarship for you on the athletic side, okay? We will take away the academic. For the $1,000 one, we will take away the mid-year. In the soccer, no. The only way you will lose a soccer scholarship or any type of athletic scholarship for that year is if you do something detrimental where you get arrested, okay? You do something very detrimental to somebody within the university physically, somewhere where you put yourself as a person in risk or anybody around you in risk, and then obviously taint the name of the athletics department. So you just got to go to class and play, okay? Maybe you don't hold up your side of the bargain of being that player. That will be evaluated after those 24 credits, which is 1 year, and we'll talk about extending you another year. So it's on a per year basis.
Okay.
That's why we do it that way, and every university does it that way, because we can't, if we tie you to 2 years and you're a disaster, we're not going to carry that debt, For us, again, character is huge, so we want to make sure that whatever we invest in, we get in return by you being top A student and a class citizen. Being that, I just remembered something that I'm going to touch on because your social media is looked at. Okay? Believe it or not, it's looked at. I've worked with the University of Miami. They're a huge school. If you guys know the University of Miami, UM, they don't have men's soccer, but they have a football program that's huge nationwide. I used to do their summer camp. I remember the coach telling me, we got to run them through the social media department. This was a couple years back, and I'm like, social media department? And she's like, yeah, we scrutinize their social media. And to me, I was like, that's great. Because what is social media for you guys? That's the image you portray to everybody, yes or no? Unfortunately, some people portray lies, obviously, but we don't want you hanging out with an MAU shirt holding a beer or a gun or anything. None of that. If we ever see that, especially a gun, it's no, you're gone. And if you're being recruited and we're looking at you and when we see that type of social media, you're going to wonder why we said thank you but no thank you. And at some point we're going to say, take a look at your social media. Because your social media says a lot about you. Unfortunately, that's the society we live in today. So social media is important to make sure that you clean up, okay? As much as when you're in here also, it doesn't mean we can't take the scholarship away from you. You do things that are detrimental to yourself and the university, you're going to lose your scholarship. Yeah. So that you know, yeah. And again, at the end of the day, it's a job, like I said before, right? So if you work hard, sometimes you feel like you want to be rewarded, right? But if you don't work hard, don't get mad when the coach says, I reduced your scholarship. Because the body of work is what's going to be the evidence used for us to make a decision. Any more questions? Yes?
How many days a week is training?
Training?
Yeah.
5 days a week, okay? On the weekends, you'll have either games. Sometimes you have games during the week, okay? We like for the program, whatever program it is, to travel outside by a plane, go to a trip. The men's soccer team last year went to New York, okay? And they had an event down there. Sometimes what will happen is you'll train Monday through Friday, and sometimes they'll do, if you're not in season, that's a different type of training. But if you're in season, it's Monday through Friday. Then you may have games. The rugby team flew to California to play a rugby tournament. So, that is paid by the university, by the athletic program to fly you out. We give you food, we give you the transportation. But we do train 5 days. Every program trains 5 days a week during season. During off season, you may train twice a week. You may just get together to do, like in soccer, just to get together, play a little soccer, maybe go to an indoor gym. But again, we want to facilitate where you can go to do your workouts and so forth and so on. Okay. Did I answer it? Yeah, good. Okay. Look back there. One of the
by any chance, there's a possibility of getting drafted into the
professional league?
Yeah, from.
Okay. So we do have the MLS here. Okay. So just so you know, U.S. soccer is, and we're talking about specifically about soccer. They have various tiers now. So they have the MLS, the USL, and there's UPSL and other teams, 3rd and 4th division. Absolutely, the possibility is always there. Again, I'm here to talk about you guys, but I can tell you, Benjamin Cremanchi, who plays for the Miami, if you guys watch Inter Miami, he was one of my players at the youth level. Everything's possible, okay? The opportunity's there. I could tell you, being a college graduate opens the door more for you to be able to go to tryouts, okay? Because that's how the MLS works. But there's other teams, other leagues, like the USL, which is the 2nd tier, you can play for. The majority of our soccer players here play for I have a UPSL team, which is 3rd and 4th division, and they play in those in the off season. It's just, again, I'm not going to lie to you, less than 1% make it to pro, okay? If you would have asked me when I coached Benjamin Cremanchi when he was 13 and 14 and told me he was going to be a professional, I would have put money and said no. I would have said no, because on that team, there was a kid that was 10 times better than him. That kid never made it. Benjamin did. But there's one thing that I learned about Benjamin in the long run. He was dedicated and committed to the task at hand. Because I see him playing now, and I'm like, that's the Benjamin I know. He's a strong player, dedicated. He's passionate. But technically, he wasn't at the level of the other kid. But that other kid didn't have that drive. And I don't even know where that other kid is now. So, but again, there is a possibility, yes. But I have to say this to everyone, because as a soccer player, all I ever wanted to do was play pro. okay? My problem was that I wanted to play pro as my first option, my second option, my third option, my fourth option. School for me was nowhere within the top 10 options. And that's where I failed, okay? So my message is, don't do what I did, or the majority of the players that I know that have come from Miami. Don't base it around wanting to play pro. Don't base it around that right now. There's steps to get there. Play in college, be seen, get good grades. If the opportunity doesn't come to you in the first 2 years, get your 4-year degree. And if those 4 years you don't have that opportunity with a degree, you can make your own options. You can fly to England. You can fly to Germany and try there. I had a player who was at Varela High School, phenomenal player. Passed him. This was before I was a college player. It was about 12 years ago. No, what am I talking about? 15 years ago. And I remember I had contacts, and I asked a buddy of mine, I'm like, hey, take a look at this kid. He took him to Atlanta, okay, in Georgia, gave him a scholarship. His name's Birdie. Tremendous player. He came back during the break after his first year, very good friends with my nephew, and I hear him talking, and then my nephew's, I'm like, hey, so Birdie, when are you coming back? And I saw him coming like, he was only going to do 2 years. He was kind of like standoffish, so I was like, all right. So I asked my nephew, I'm like, hey, what's wrong with Birdie? Was he kind of like shady? He's like, he's not going back. I'm like, what? He's got 1 more year, 2 semesters. That's all he's got to do, get a 2-year degree. Where's he going? And he wants to go try out in Germany. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I called the coach, and I'm like, hey, Bart, this is going on with it. Hey, can you talk to him for me? I want to talk to him. He's like, no, coach. I gave him all the advice I could. I can't force you. I said, you're going to regret it. You're going to go, and then you're going to come back, and you're going to waste 2 or 3 years, and you're going to be like, man, I could have already had my 4-year degree, even my master's. He went. He hit the 4th division. He was making $500 a month in Germany. They're starving to death. But because he was playing in 4th division, he thought he was going to. He came back 2 years later. You know what he asked me? Can you do me a favor and talk to the coach to give me another opportunity? And I looked at him, and I was like, really? Now, I have a heart, and I did talk to him. He went back. Okay? He got his 2-year degree. Then he moved down, and he went to FIU, and he graduated. But he wasted 3 years of his academic life. So basically, the message there is, yes, have that vision and that want to be pro, but organize it accordingly. Accomplish your degree first. Because if he would have done that after the first 2 years with that AA, he could have stayed there longer. And with an AA, it's more valuable than going with nothing to another country and say, I don't have any type of education. Not that it's going to be the end-all, be-all of it, but it does make a difference. Okay? Yeah. I know you had a question.
I had an academic question.
Yes.
So if we did like science-based subjects in Trinidad, and we wanted to come to this school, like it would have
transfer?
like, yeah.
Transfer, okay. Unfortunately, no. So we have, it's all business. So if you did a business degree, if you graduated with a bachelor's, let's say in Trinidad, we would look at all the business classes, okay? Correlate them with what we have, and if they match through the curriculum, yes, we would give you credit for that. But science classes, we're not a science school. Unless you took something like, I don't know if in Trinidad they do that, because I know, for example, here, they'll try to make you to do one business class just because you need business for life, and then that would transfer. We have a criminal justice degree, but that doesn't fall into that either. So, and that criminal justice degree right now is not active because we really don't have students that, if there's 10 students that want to study criminal justice, we can open up that. But science is, unfortunately, at this point, no. Unless you came in and did just your 2-year AA degree, and then you transferred to another university for science, then you can take the AA plus those credits to that other university. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Good. Yes.
So seeing that I don't have a gym right now, they will accommodate students somewhere else, so they have to.
If you're not a fit here, like
seeing that you all don't have a gym, like
a gym.
Yeah, they'll accommodate the students in another gym, or
yeah. So I'll give you an example. The baseball team right now is, I don't know if you guys know what LA Fitness is. LA Fitness is a big gym franchise in the US. And I did this with my other university. What you'll find in the US, a lot of universities are different. Many in the north are like this, buildings, and they don't have facilities. So we do agreements. We'll say, okay, we have 20 athletes. You charge this, we'll reduce it to this. The university will cover some of the charge, and then the player will cover a little minimal charge, and they have right to go and use the university when they want. I mean, I'm sorry, the gym when they want. So they're working, I know baseball's working right now with that. The other option that we're looking into, and I know the president, because unfortunately you haven't met him today, but the other option that's in play, but we don't know 100%, is they're looking to have just a warehouse where we build a gym, and that's where all the athletes would go, which to me would make more sense. But yeah, but I do, again, transparency and being honest and clear is, we're just starting out. So there's a lot of things that we want, but unfortunately we can't put everything right away. As we build it, things will come. We've even talked about, like, if we can find a piece of land to put our own field, our own pitch. But again, those are things that are further down the line. The warehouse is more viable for us because it's something that we've been looking to already. Where put in gym sets, turf, indoors, for the teams to go and train. Anybody else? No? Oh, it's quiet. I like it. Listen, take advantage. Take advantage. I always tell my players, it's funny because I look at you and I see a lot of my ex-players through your eyes, like my first conversation, because this is not the first time I've had teams, especially from the Caribbean, come over. I was at Turks and Caicos. I brought Mackinson, cadet, love that kid, about 8 years ago. And that kid already is graduated, has his master's, but I remember him, he would always sit in the back, always in the back. And I knew I wanted him from the get-go, but I was like just trying to see his personality, and I kept telling him, sit in the front. Oh, coach, I'm like, sit in the front. Why do you want me to sit in the front? I go, because you absorb more. Ask a question from time to time. But he was the quietest guy. He's got a little bit like Neptune. Neptune is not that quiet now, though. Neptune comes and talks to me a lot.
I have a question that
yeah.
may be relevant to the players. What is the cost with a scholarship, and what is the cost without a scholarship?
Okay, so the cost of tuition here, so you have, very good question, there's a breakdown, right? For the whole year, which is 24 credits, right? We talked about that, 12 credits and 12 credits, because that's what, for an international student, you have to commit to, right? And fees and books is $13,800, okay? So scholarships can range from $500, it could go, for an athlete maybe up to $5, but it has to be an athlete that is top tier. You have the $1,000, so let's say hypothetically you get 3. So you're looking at $10,800 for the university cost. Your books are online. It's not physical books, it's online. Your classes, the fees, the registration fees, the ID fee, all that you would be at $10,800 with a $3,000 scholarship. To that, you have living expenses, which we do not have housing. Okay, we're not, an on-campus housing program. What we do is we guide you towards someone that does the housing and organizes the housing for prospective students. We have nothing to do with that, but we estimate that cost to be between $6,500 and $7,500 a year. So you're looking at total cost with living and food and everything about $19,000 with a $3,000 scholarship. Without the $3,000 scholarship, it's going to go above 20. Okay? Yes.
If you got a scholarship from Trinidad as well.
Oh, you can. Yes, we open the door as long. We have some countries that offer scholarships as long as they're the ones that put the program in, and then they deal with the university and the financial and the bursar's office, and they pay for your scholarship. That could be applied. Yes. As long as you bring it in. It's applied. Yeah, absolutely. But again, the scholarship, it could go, it could go from 500 to about 5,000. But again, all depends on your academics and your athletic ability. Is that kind of like a good reply? You guys understand, yeah? Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. We are low-cost university. I know the other universities around here, you're going to be looking at 40 a year, 50 a year with living and dorm. Now, obviously they have a dorm and stuff like that, but it's still expensive. We're very affordable for a university.
I have a next question.
Yeah.
You guys, you said the university kind of relatively new.
I'm sorry, let me correct. The athletic program, the university is 18 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's not
Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot that. Yeah, you know what? That was my fault because I didn't explain. The university's been around for 18 years. They also had universities in Venezuela, one of the largest in Venezuela. But they moved here and they opened up the university 18 years ago. So the athletic program is the new component of the university, which is going into its second year, which is the offering of athletic scholarships. That's the new part of it. No questions?
I would like you just to share with the audience here, especially the athletes, how critically important it is to address their lifestyle if they wish to progress.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, we go back to it again. It's like what you put into is what you're going to get out of it, right? As an athlete myself, I can tell you we actually demand that and these are the programs that Student Services offers. You need to be in shape. So how to be in shape? You're going to get the athletic side of your coach, of what the workout is going to be, what the regimen they want you to have, how fit you want to be. The component of nutrition is huge. Student Services offers seminars here where they'll bring in specialists for nutrition, okay? Lifestyle of mental health, okay? We offer the opportunity for you to understand, there's certain phone numbers you can call, okay? The lifestyle of, we talk about it all the time, and I tell the athletes this all the time. The number one thing, there's two things that really damage the athletes. One is going out and drinking and smoking. That's unacceptable to us, okay? And the other thing is put your phone down when you go to bed. Get off social media. Relax, rest, recoup. Because those are important components that you need to have as an athlete. Because you train one early in the morning, yes or no? Okay? So absolutely, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, don't even try it. We're not gonna, we're not, and to be honest with you, we have the capacity that if we are thinking that you are involved in that, we will test you, okay? And the affiliation of the college athletics, when you get deep into tournaments, you can be pulled off the field to be tested. You don't want to be the person that ruins it for everybody else because they will take a title away from a team. So make sure your habits are good, okay? Own up to whatever the coach gives you because the coach each will give you guys, depending on the sport, a workout regimen. Make sure you're eating correctly. Again, the nutrition is key. Here in the U.S., you have a fast food place everywhere. And I know you're students, and I know it's difficult. We try to guide you. But again, take care of your body. Hydrate. Here especially also, hydration is crucial. Overall, as an athlete, just think about it. You have to be physically fit and mentally prepared. Just think the things that take away from your mental. Okay? Staying out late, socializing late, social media late, consuming things through the social media and that mess with your brain. You need to make sure that you have a set ground. The physical part of it, you're athletes, right? All of you guys play. If you don't hydrate, you're going to struggle. If you don't eat, you're going to struggle. So for us, again, we do have seminars, and Jasmine has been really good at that, of giving these seminars of lifestyle, eating habits, mental side of it, psychological side of it. And the university offers that. But again, we offer it. We can't Force you. So it has to come within. Okay, I wasn't, listen, I grew up, and when I grew up, my high school players and my college players, not going to say I was a saint, because I wasn't, okay, but they knew who I was, and they always knew, like, oh, don't give name's Juan Carlos, but they changed my name to JC when I moved to the U.S. I don't know, they couldn't say Juan Carlos, but my buddies knew, like, oh, he has a game tomorrow. No. Like, they would literally, my good friends would literally say, go home, you got a game tomorrow, because they knew who I was for the high school and they knew who I was for the college. Again, did I make the right decisions every time? No. And you pay the price as an athlete. You will pay the price, you know. And our eating habits are different. My Colombian eating habits are different than the American ones. So be careful with that, because now that you say that, one of the biggest downfalls for a lot of athletes that come out is when we call it the freshman 15. You tend to gain weight when you come here right away. You do. Yeah, you do. You do, because that McDonald's around the corner everywhere, you know. That Burger King's around everywhere. So stay vigilant of that. Yeah, the freshman 15, we call it. It's the first 15 pounds you gain when in your first semester here. We try to calm that down. So I hope I answered your question. Yeah. You guys are like, I want to get out now. You need water? Yes? You know what? Oh, you know what? I apologize. Let me see if I can get you guys, because I may have some water for you guys. If there's anything that you guys think about in the meantime, give me a second. Yeah. You guys can. I'll give you more if you need it, but you can look at. What classrooms each degree has, what classes each degree has. So if you go to the website, you can look at associates, and it'll give you, now you guys know how many credits you need for an associate's? Anybody know? No. 12 is one semester, 24 is 1 year. Close. 60. You need to complete 60 credits. So divide that by 12, that'll tell you the number of semesters. That'll be your associates. So to get a bachelor's, what do you think you would need? Another 120. Yes, good. Another 60. Yeah. So 120 would be your bachelor's degree. Okay? And if I'm not mistaken, for your master's, you need about 30, 38 or something like that. Yes. Yes. You could do 5. Okay? We prefer, especially as an athlete, if you do the 5, do it not in the regular season. So for example, soccer players, we were trying to stay away from doing 5 classes in the fall. Yeah, we'd rather you do it in the spring. because you have more time. In the fall, not to say that you can't, okay? And the way we would look at it is if you have a high GPA, would we be comfortable giving you, 5 classes? Yes. But if you have a 2.0 and you ask us for 5 classes, we'd be like, no, absolutely no way. But you could do that to graduate within that time, because I know where you're going with it. Yeah. So definitely you can. And then, again, for us is if you come to class and you do your work, it's not that difficult. Okay. I don't know if anything, eligibility-wise, you guys know you have to maintain a 2.0 every semester to be eligible to play. And the 12 credits every semester. If you don't have the 12 credits every semester, at some point, it'll catch up to you. You won't be able to play. You'll not be eligible and you won't be cleared, because here, that's one thing I have to know. If you come and play here, you have to, and this is important, you have to take a physical by a U.S. doctor, have it filled out and signed. You have to have U.S. insurance that has to cover college athletics, organized sports. A lot of the internationals bring traveler's insurance. If you read your coverage in traveler's insurance, it doesn't cover collegiate or athletic organized events. So therefore, if you're injured, your insurance will not help you out. Okay, we got to make sure we work with Florida Blue here. And Florida Blue is very inexpensive and good. So those things for internationals, we got to make sure we add to it. You have to have those when you come in. When you come in here, you can take the physical, but the insurance, have it in place before you come in, because the insurance takes 30 days to activate. So if you wanted to play right now, like say you were coming in and you didn't get your insurance and you wanted to participate in August, you wouldn't be able to, because coverage doesn't start until September 1st.
So, I have a question. The insurance, some companies in Trinidad actually covers you internationally as well.
Okay.
Would that apply, or you're saying you have to use the
Okay.
U.S. insurance?
I've yet to find, in the 15 years, an international company that will cover collegiate U.S. Athletic events. If they do, you bring the coverage to us, we review it. If they approve it, we'll take it. But I've yet to see one. If it stipulates, because some say, yeah, it coverages you in sports, but that means if you travel and you come and then you come and decide to play pickup at an indoor place and you break your leg, it covers you, because it was just somewhere where you went to go play. But if it's an organized college athletic event, that will not be covered. So you have to be careful with the wording on that. That's where I've discovered that, because at first we used to take that, and then we had one player that unfortunately, a long time ago, damaged his ankle, and when we looked at it, it said no. If he was playing pickup, yes, but if he was an actual game, so it doesn't cover you. Okay? Yes.
Injured on the field, does he lose the scholarship?
I'm sorry?
If an athlete gets injured on the field, does he
No.
lose?
No, he doesn't lose it. No. We have, so when you're playing, okay, and you get injured, you do not lose your athletic scholarship, okay? The only thing would be you have to make sure you rehabilitate with a trainer, right? You know, if you're able to attend the sessions from time to time, you attend the sessions, you take care of your schoolwork, you keep your scholarship. That's not a problem. And it's a really good question. If you're playing the first year and you, knock on wood, but something happens and you tear your knee, we would fill out a medical waiver clearance for the association that we're with, so they don't charge you for that athletic year. So here's something you got to understand. You have 5 years to play 4 years, okay? So this first year you damage your knee and you've only played 1 game, we would put in that you played less than 20-something% of your game of the season, and you got injured, and we don't want that year to be taken away from you. 100% of the time they're saying, okay, so they'll redshirt you this year. Redshirt means they'll clear you and say, okay, your first year will be your second year. So you have second, third, fourth, and fifth year to play those 4. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Now, the only problem would happen is if you injure yourself past the 25%, they won't clear you. You're just injured. You played more than a quarter of the season, they'll charge you for that year. Okay? But again, the scholarship, we would never take it away from you for that.
For an athletic student at MA who is called upon to represent his or her country at any point in time, what arrangement is there with MOU and that particular issue?
So I will go back to Mackinson Cadet, and again, we would just, the only thing, we just give him permission to go. Now, Mackinson did that with me. He played for Turks and Caicos, and he played in the U17 World Cup qualifiers, or U19 World Cup qualifiers, I can't remember what it was. We give him permission to go, but if he's already played for a quarter of a season, then, you know, if he's gonna miss 1 or 2 weeks, that's fine. You know, we will say, hey, he has permission to go. He can play. We don't do any monetary or anything like that to, like, you know, we can't do that because it's against the regulations of the Collegiate Association to pay for flights, or we can't do any of that. We would just give him permission to go, okay? If we knew, like Mackinson, if he would have done it where it was in preseason and he would miss maybe more than a quarter of the season, then what I might say to him would be, let's not put your eligibility in, okay, and not start your clock ticking. Your clock ticking means 4 years. And you play, you know, the preseason, go and do your tournament, go and represent your country if it takes a month. Now, the academic side of it has to be straightened out. So maybe they may be able to miss a week, you know, or so, or a week and a half. We can talk to the professors and make an arrangement to make sure that his grades and everything. But if he's going to be out more than a month or 2 months, that might be a academic thing that we would have to look at. But if you would know ahead of time if any of these players did that, you know? Yeah. So we would make arrangements academically for a week, maybe 2, so he can go in and out of the country, do his homework over there, bring it back, and then athletically, you know, if it's going to affect him and he not be able to play the whole season, then maybe just say, hey, look, let's not put in eligibility so he doesn't get counted for. Yep. Good? Yeah, I think so.
Everybody comfortable? Yes, sir. Want information answered? Sure? Yes, sir. All right. So we must say thanks for having us here today.
No problem.
We enjoy the information was shared.
Yeah.
Okay. We appreciate yes, for having us here this morning at MAU University, and seeing that one of our star players, Mr. Neptune, is one of your star players also and good student. We would like some of the other students in the club to follow suit, as Mr. Neptune has been an exemplary example of what the club is trying to accomplish and trying to achieve. And this tour was an eye-opener for the rest of us who have never been on a tour before. Some of us came up here in 2022, and 2024, basically we have a new team. Some of us, you know, first time traveling to the States, gave them opportunity to see what's done up here, how it's done, and the information is important because when they get the correct information, then they will make the evaluation, they and their parents, to know how they're going further or how they're approaching what they really want to do. So I hope you all take this opportunity. It's not like we just come on a trip to play games, but this is a career pathway for each and every one of us, and to use this to advance your career in football and academics. And whatever you want to do, as I always say, the sky's the limit. Just achieve your goal. It's really preparation. So all this now is the preparation stage for your next, as I say, your next journey in life. So one journey has started, you went to primary school, secondary school. Some of us here are going to UTT, some of us are going to university. So this is your next stage in life where you want to set up yourself for further endeavors. So you're going to thank the school for having us here this morning. And we thank everybody who made this happen, parents, the executive members, and all who make this adventure really happen. Because there are a lot of work going to it, and you see the results. So we thank you again, and you will see some of us here next semester, hopefully.
Thank you.
All right? Thanks a lot.
I don't know if you guys, I know there's water bottles downstairs. I apologize. We should. Yeah, the president. All you have to do is be careful. Food here, it's not like Trinidad our country food is fresh. Here, it's very selective, so you have to be careful with what you eat.
Hey, doctor.
I'd rather work it with you guys where.
We will do the process.
Yeah.
But we are nice and keep the
It's important. And then we want you to sit also on top of Coach David. The door's always open. But again, we talked about the communication and getting your paperwork and getting everything on time to get you there.
Before we leave, we'll tell you what this evening, talk to you guys with Tristan.
I'll expect you here then.
when it is small, you can attend the students.
It's more access, more personal time with that student.
I just wish we had more.
It's just so large. You don't have that same personal time. Exactly, yeah. It's more easier access to. Better access.
We're excited, so we want that one to start.
Personal information on what it is.
That's good.
So we have people explanation.
So there's like a one-stop shop.
That's good. That's what I was talking about.
I'll be over here.
Go through them. That way we know what's on and they know exactly what we're asking for.
Sounds very good.
All good?
Just a question for Monday. So what time exactly is
Can I text you? Because
I just look, I just wanted to the first.
okay.
We said also, if anything, you call him. No, but just so I have an idea.
Yeah, I think I'm waiting for to finalize.
That's fine. He's scheduled to work clinic in the afternoon,
Okay.
1 o'clock. But on the side, if I have to wait, if I have to postpone it.
She called me, but I was in here, so let me see if I can call her back. That's what I try to teach them.
So I send a link to Paul,
Okay, perfect.
so you can put it in on your section.
Yeah, the actual vice president, Oriana, she saw a little bit of the game yesterday. She's like, oh, send us a link so we can put it on the TV. Like sometimes when they go in there, the game's going on, they replay it. So they want to do this. Yeah. And if you have events that you're doing now that maybe we can't get there, but they're being on live feed, let us know. We watch them.
Yeah, we will send you live feed for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
I sent to Paul.
Absolutely.
While there are pros and cons,
I'm sorry.
while there are pros and cons to what I'm going to say, in a small educational institution like this one, to me there are greater advantages. In the context that more personal tutoring, supervision, guidance can be given if you have a smaller number to work with.
Absolutely. I go around. I wasn't when Paul was with you guys in Trinidad, or I don't know if he went to Trinidad.
He was to Paul.
Paul. I was in Europe, and so I have a company that took me to Spain, and I always tell them the same thing. I always say, listen, we are not the huge campus. It's beautiful to go to those campuses, but you lose the personal touch. You lose the where do I go? Can you help me out? Here with us, you met them all. Like they go above and beyond. They want the student to and I know you guys may think it's like, oh, they're trying to sell us. No, they take care of our students. The moment we don't take care of our students and we don't show them the guidance and the pathway, the U.S. with private institutions now, the way they are, they're like, no, you guys can't be, you can't be a part of an institution. Right now, we just got our accreditation for 6 more years because it's every 4 years, and we got the best accreditation. We got 0 findings. So I always tell them, you may not have a stadium, you may not have the beautiful locker room, you may not have the on-house camping, but you're gonna, eventually I go, but you're gonna have, you can knock on my door. I go, if you go try to knock on the athletic director's door at FIU or as an athlete, you're gonna see 10 other people before you see the athletic director. before you see student services, before you see the vice principal, come in and talk to them, you know, hey, can you come and talk to them?
The mere fact that you are increasing the athletic sporting discipline is always better.
Yes.
For the institution.
And I know we use Neptune all the time, but Neptune is big. He has been, like, everybody knows Neptune. Like, everybody. And so she was very happy when I said, no, you know, that's where Neptune came from. She was like,
But you know, you said something very alarming, but influential, instrumental, and impactful. And you took up Neptune at the airport.
yeah.
And you come in and you ask him the question, Coach, Neptune, how do you deal with this?
Yeah.
I said that. It's a guy thinking,
Yeah.
and just get that you need to get married.
Oh, no, absolutely. And
How can I cope with this?
yeah,
Deal with this?
yeah, he, you know, at first he was a little worried because of certain things. I wanted to do this and I was there all the time. So go talk to this person. Good thing is that he can be that's important. I think that's
He's one of our best players.
yeah. I know.
We
When I
had
saw
him
him
for
play, I was like, wow.
5 years, so you know, watching the program, we have a program, and his parents bought into that. Was to keep on talking about this is what we want to do, this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do. From academics to football, guiding our coordinator. We also paid for his ticket and something
Yeah.
to be supporting financially to the first 2 months of his rent. We gave him money, even at his student visa. That's right.
He is a great ambassador for you guys because he's exceeding. Like he's on the task to do it, and on the field. Yeah, he's very disciplined, great player. He's done great. I mean, I always bother the coach because the coach, he was one of my. I hired him at the club that I used to work at. And I always tell him, and I'm the last. Because I'll go pick him up with you, but I wanted to go pick him up. And it's funny because when I met him, I could tell right away he was very shy, but respectful, and I love him. Very respectful. Yeah. I told my coach, that's the character, that's the identity of what our athletic coach individuals are into. That brave and yeah, maybe a little bit of fish out of water, and you know, because they are, they get structured in Miami. And I told them when I picked them up, I go, beautiful city, you can get lost. Don't get lost on me. Because I always talk to them like I don't want to catch you at a club that I go out to on a Saturday night. He's not like that, right? He's joking around. Really cool, really cool. Yeah. And it was also guiding the coaches. This is how you should do it. You the coaches. I chose to pick him up because I told him to show you exactly how he got the training. If he comes from, you know, Tampa, you want to make sure that you're there because parents are trusting in you that their son is traveling across the world. And you're really not the father. You're supposed to you know, to everything you do as a coach, you're not just a son. So that's kind of my way of also having the coach feel like, and it happens to turn out. How do we run it? So there's a lot of large Colombia too, and there's a large macaw and parrots. But here in Miami, they're known also. When the hurricane came, Andrew, this Pembroke, this all a lot of parakeets and birds got away from them. So there's a lot of macaws. You have a lot of there's actual parrot jungle here. So it's very known in Miami that there's parrots. Macaws, a type of parrot. What's the one of the solution? Right now is we need business. It's good. It's good. It's business. Because that's one of the things that at first it was a little change of date. Then you gotta give in and did it. We need business. Which not many people knew that we were a business. And wherever I go, I'm like, we are a business institution. Yeah. Yeah, we need business. I think it's great. I got your text. I haven't had a chance. I've just been busy with
The
yeah, I'll reply to you. I apologize. I just said for me it's been like